Palumbo Show. That's right. Show number 138, getting involved here from downtown Mahwah, New Jersey, coming to you live from the decent dining room studios of Jimmy Palumbo Show. And of course, across the glass is from downtown Mattawan in the black and blue. Not sure what's going on there. Cowboy hat that looks like it's another loss. Dave Sturchio behind the glass.
Sharing out the show right now so people will actually watch this damn thing. How are you, Jimmy?
Good evening, everybody. It's a good one here. What's up, Dying Breed Garage? How are you? Thanks for tuning in here, Jay.
I got to know what that even means at this point.
It's a garage, and he's old school, so he's Dying Breed.
Oh, okay. Like a garage, like he fixes cars and shit?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. He's a mechanic.
Will Pena, will you please text the chat room so we know what you do? One of the things we do here,
Will?
First of all, best thing about my show is how smooth we start the show. Mm-hmm. We're talking about Dying Breed Garages here, Jay. But he's a Patreon member. We'll treat him like gold.
Oh,
there you go, Patreon. Patreon. Hey, funded beer leagues. Everybody, calm down.
Hey, now.
Well, listen. This is show number 138. Dave, welcome aboard.
Yes.
Behind the glass. We're waiting on one of our guests. I don't know if he's ever going to get here. Probably not.
We'll see.
And of course, as you well know here at Shea, I have a baseball card. And this one is another guy who I heard of, thought he was better, and he's not. His name is, and I got the 1992 card.
All right, so now we're talking about 7-year-old Dave.
Steve Avery.
Yeah.
Okay, now
I know a little Steve Avery action.
Steve Avery was a legend. Atlanta Braves. He was record of 96 and 83. He was part of the Young Guns with Avery, Glavine, Smoltz, and Peter Smith. Two of them ended up not being good, and two of them ended up maybe.
Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. With all those legend and Cooperstown enshrined, and then there's him.
Oh, there we go. Now our guest.
We got him. We'll get him. Mark,
we'll get you. We'll get you in a bit, buddy. All right. We have a guest coming on, which we'll deal with in a second. So anyway,
we'll deal with.
Because listen, he's a buddy of mine, and I know how to tell him to go scratch. Yeah. But Steve Avery, 96 and 83 record, 4.19 ERA, 261 stars. Played with 3 teams, 7 years with Atlanta, 2 with Boston, and 1 with Cincy. I think I might have been Detroit at the end. And one of those, it doesn't matter. End of his career, nobody cared. He did get a ring in 95 with the Braves. He was on the mound when he walked Wade Boggs. Do you remember that as a little youngster?
In what year?
96, big walk to Wade Boggs.
Yeah.
He's 53 years old now. His best year was 93. He was 16-4, rolling along till a little twitch under his armpit. And ever since then, he was 44-50. He wasn't the same. People say they used him too much, and he blew out his shoulder, arm, whatever. It was with the Tigers his last year because he got to pitch where he grew up. He got to pitch for his hometown team, but even though he was shot by then, basically he had 2 good years. But he did win 18 games twice, so there's your 2 years right there. Steve Avery ended up. He's just a nice fella, and he's a Brave, and he was on a lot of winning teams because the Braves were good back then. And that's it. So. That is it. Now, I understand now we have late breaking news here, Shay.
Yeah.
You, wait, hang on. Before we go to late breaking news.
we have the official announcement by Dying Breed Garage as to who he is and what he does.
So Will Pena restores old hot rods. Dying Breed is for the Cuban people that fled Castro and came to the U.S. in the 60s. I'm the last of that breed. I was born in the USA, and my mom and dad fled Cuba in 1959. Well, I gotta be honest with you, Dying Breed. The amount of politics and stuff we cover on the show, that is right up our alley. Because you know why? Dave doesn't know who Castro is.
I know who Castro is. Come on.
No, that's awesome. A friend of mine escaped in the 80s.
Dude, when I hear stories about that stuff, it's like, they're like, yeah, they came over on a door. And I'm like, funny, like a proverbial door. Like, no. Like a fucking door. Like,
I love it.
Like a Jack and what the hell's her name?
Yeah,
Jack and Titanic,
Right.
Rose,
Right.
and they're floating on the door, and there's no
Right,
space for
right.
Jack, which is complete bullshit, by the way. There's plenty of space for him.
Yeah, I know.
It's like move the fuck over,
Move over so you can both freeze to death.
right?
Yes, that's very impressive. Thanks for listening. We have so many listeners now live. So I totally appreciate that, and you're part of my Patreon. So now, in more breaking news, besides
bigger breaking news,
the Cuba conflict, back in the missile crisis, Jimmy Palumbo, my first podcast was during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
and now we're on episode 487 getting involved.
The funny thing is, when Kennedy called me, I was doing my baseball card. I was doing Walter Johnson back then.
It's weird because you're on the phone with Kennedy, and then all of a sudden he hung up abruptly.
No,
I don't know what
told
happened.
him, I said, John, relax. I'm doing my podcast. I'll call you back in an hour and a half. Meanwhile,
no, he's on the phone with you. He's like, I think I see somebody in the grass. And then that was it. That's the end of our show.
I was like, John, listen, tell Spiro Agnew go up in Congress. Anyway, I'm doing Spiro Agnew material, which for some people, see, now this is why I think my podcast is brilliant, because what are we talking about? But now, in late breaking news, not that Mark Riccadonna is coming on our show. No, that's not news at all. That's actually a negative news. In late breaking news, Dave Sturchio now has a stack of baseball cards. So he said he picked one out, and now he's about to share with us.
I have, listen, this guy's a gem. He looks like everybody's uncle. Mustache. He kind of looks like Dennis Eckersley, but it's not him. He played for, now I got to bring it up, the Brewers and the A's for 1 year from 76 to 86. So a 10-year career. He has 98 career wins, 61 career losses. So actually, no, that's 81. So he's only a sub 500 pitcher. His name, and this is why I chose him, is none other than Moose Haas.
Oh, I totally remember Moose
Haas. And the reason why I pick him is because of his backstory here. It says Moose has a black belt in Taekwondo. He's also an amateur magician and a certified locksmith. It's like, what the fuck? How many things can you do as a baseball player?
First of all, imagine when he was younger. How good was Moose Haas in high school?
I mean,
he probably played football. He was breaking in.
Oh, my God. I'm looking at all his stats. I mean, he's a 6-footer, 170, throws right, bats right. He's from Baltimore, Maryland, born in 56. So he's a year older than my old man. Hometown in Hampstead. What's MO? Missouri? Geography day here,
MO means North Cuba.
Okay, perfect. So he came over with Dying Breed Garage's parents.
Yeah,
it was perfect. And then he pitched for the fucking Brewers. So that's it. Moose Haas. Man. Look at that. Look at that stuff.
That's your best one ever. So
that has to be
Steve Avery and Moose Haas here at Shane. That is awesome here for the start of the Jimmy Palumbo Show, which is starting not very well here.
Oh, this is the best start that we've had, honestly.
Listen, I'm wearing Orange Theory Fitness, which is part of Beer League, the series. I am not in shape. Dave's wearing his ugly fucking cowboy hat, and we're waiting for one of my jerk-off comics to come on, so I'm going to just mock him out when he gets on. That's what we do here. We mock out people. Anyway, we must discuss, speaking of awful, my Patreon, we are still mired. Matter of fact, due to I've been so bad at the Patreon that people's credit cards are expiring, and so I think my numbers are dropping.
What number are you at now?
We are at 36.
Okay. I have one listener who I know is listening. She's also a good friend of mine. She also was the one that says she loves the card thing, right? So that person who's listening right now, sign up for Patreon. It's $3 a month. You used to be on the Chop Sports Patreon. Then I believe you canceled your credit card. So jump on to Jimmy's Patreon and be number 38.
37.
37. Whatever.
And I believe Robin Achani hasn't fixed her credit card. I think Greg Casalino hasn't. And Eileen Joan Palumbo, my mother, still has not fixed her credit card, which I'm going to fix this weekend.
You just talked to her on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving Day here. Patreon mired. So even though we're at 36, we're really not even, I don't know what I'm doing. But we did pay for, I got to give a shout out, though, to Martin Walsack, because he's a big Giant fan from Colonia. He's miserable. I got to give a shout out to my cousin Joanne Palumbo, a lawyer. And she says, she listened to the show twice, gave me the Patreon, and she told me at a party this weekend, "Oh, I haven't listened to it since." So I had to give her a shout
First
out,
of all,
man.
you're giving these explanations and these descriptions to these people like it's a dating show. You're
Oh,
like,
it
"Oh,
is.
my cousin, a lawyer."
I have to give a shout out to my sister Mary Eileen Riccardi because she's coming up tonight to go to a confirmation sponsor thing for my daughter. She got drive an hour for that, and also to my nephew Eric, who's getting married on Saturday, November 11th, to Maggie. So that's kind of cool. More on that later. And that's it. My Patreon, of course, this whole horrific program known as the Jimmy Palumbo Show. I know. You know what? This might be the worst show ever, most because the guests we're about to have on. And also, it's really going to be improved because Absolute Eyewear getting involved here from the Omni. Absolute Eyewear, 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326.
Nice.
That's right. Dave Sturchio for a quick 3 to take the early 3-0 lead. 732-326-3937. Opticians, Woodbridge. They're the best. Craig and Johnny, and you got to check them out. They have everything over there. You call them up, go to the store. Craig's a good-looking horse. He's been married.
Speaking of good-looking horse and Craig, happy anniversary, Craig.
Yes,
I believe I read that this morning.
Craig. He looks like a young Jorge Posada in the photograph, and his gorgeous wife, and he's got nice kids, nice family man. He'll take care of you, and all of a sudden you got Jay Bird, Janine Michaud, who's a bitter giant Yankee Knick fan like me.
And Rutgers.
And she's even a Rutgers fan, so she is in a shitty mood all the time as well. But she will make sure that your glasses fit. I'm wearing glasses as we speak from Absolute.
I did get a text from Janine last week, post show, which usually happens about a day later when she catches up.
Yes.
And she definitely digs the part of me calling the other eyeglass place a shithole in Woodbridge.
Okay.
So,
that
other shithole, don't go over there. Go to Absolute Eyewear.
When you go to Absolute Eyewear, you are not at the shithole place nearby.
Exactly.
Between that and you don't feel like a jerk off, I create perfect. I should be on Madison Ave.
And in the summer, you lose weight because there's no air conditioning.
No air conditioning, and that's perfect.
And then I almost had a vehicular manslaughter, almost taking out a little old lady in the parking lot.
That's right. That's right.
Stories for days over there.
They're actually the NASCAR is coming to Woodbridge. It's going right through that parking lot. But Absolute Eyewear is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, the following sunglasses and regular glasses are there. Ray-Ban, Coach, Ralph Lauren.
Ooh, shit, jumped it.
Dave Sturchio's Jimmy Choo, Silhouette, Michael Kors Light, Vogue, Maui Jim, Costa Del Mar, and you can see Charles Oakley's kids wearing glasses because they have Oakley for kids, and Charles Oakley's there having drinks with Johnny.
One day someone is going to take you serious and they're going to go there and they're like, where the fuck is Charles Oakley?
I
just heard him say that he was here.
I'm going to get Charles Oakley. We got to get Charles Oakley on that I could say Charles
He's not
Oakley
allowed to garden anymore. He might as well.
Come in. You can't wait. You know what, though? We'll ban him from Absolute Eyewear.
Oh, my God.
Imagine it. They'll try to come in. Sorry, you're banned from here. Absolute Eyewear, 732-326-3937. Still the longest ad in America.
Mm-hmm.
It's been that way since day one. All right. Let's first of all, we got to hang on a second. We're gonna hold our comic off for a little bit. I have to get this out of the Rutgers game Saturday. Okay. Listen to me. If we were in that game, I mean,
it was at halftime.
Yeah, had the lead, only down by one score in the fourth quarter. Everybody knows I can't stand. I shouldn't say I can't stand. Our quarterback to me is just not getting it done, in my opinion, in the passing world because you have to be able to pass. If Gavin Wimsatt played in like 1948, like with the Four Horsemen, he would have been the best. But in today's game, you have to pass the ball to someone wearing the same color jersey, and he doesn't enough. I think if a regular quarterback were on the Rutgers, we would have won that game by 20. We were inside the 20-yard line all day.
Let's not get crazy.
I'm telling you, we would have blew them out.
I will say, you give a special shout. And listen, I texted you. I was keeping up with your happiness and trying to figure out if you were okay or not.
I was happy for a good long while.
Yeah, about an hour and a half of real time. But no, what I was saying is Schiano's offense is so vanilla. But the reason why it's vanilla is because you don't have a passing quarterback. So, but I will shout out a fucking fumble Ruski, man. Are we kidding right now?
That was
for
nuts.
40 yards. My father walked in about 3 minutes after it happened, and I said, you're not going to believe this play. He's like, what, did he fumble the snap? I was like, that's what I thought.
That's what we thought sitting there.
Everybody thought he fumbled the snap, but then all of a sudden he just takes it.
And you know what? I got to give Wimsatt, where I give Wimsatt credit, he manages the game. He knows the playbook, Dak Prescott. But when he shoved the ball, that was cheap shot. He shoves the ball right under his ass perfectly. Like, what amazes me? He can't pass, but he can take a snap, put it under the back of his balls, just so Monungai can. Yeah, why can't you throw an 8-yard out for a first down? I don't understand this. That's because he's practicing putting the ball.
I'm trying to think if Wimsatt was on the Jets, would they be any good? It's the same guy.
Same guy, really can't throw.
Can't throw, but Wimsatt can actually run. Now, Zach Wilson just runs for his life.
Another thing about Rutgers, listen, as Schiano says, we're not there yet. I get it. He's right. But you know what drives me nuts? I don't recall, and I've been 40 years now, 40-year anniversary of me watching Scarlet McKnights. We've had 3 catastrophic picks for touchdowns. That's inside the 5, inside the 15. Weird plays picked off instead of why can't I know what I'm dying to hear the announcer pass over the middle. It's picked off and he's down at the 7 and they'll take over. No, it's picked off. He seems tackled. He wiggles through. Next thing you know, he's gone. We've given up catastrophic touchdowns. Make me sick. Now we got to go. I'll give that a played well. We played well. And all I said to you last week is I want to play well against Iowa, Penn State, Ohio State. So I'm 1 for 1 there. We got Iowa on the road, and all the dumb Rutgers fans. We do have the dumbest fan base. Oh, we're going to play well. Like, nobody wins at Iowa. Nobody wins there ever.
They got a great defense, too.
Yeah, they got a good defense. And the over and under is the lowest since they've been, following it since 95.
Is it in the 30s?
28.
Shut up.
Swear to God.
28 over under for a game?
28.5. That's gross.
What the fuck? Where's Kyle when you need him? I got to know if he's slapping the over or not. But all that takes is like a bounce of the ball, and you're going to smack that over.
Kyle, if you're listening, which I probably is not, but if he is, please let us know if that's a good bet or not. You know what?
I left. You know what? I would have contacted Kyle, but I left the group chat. It was a group chat that was around for 3 years now, and there's one Eagle fan in there, and it was like straight after the game. He said something slick, and I was like, I don't fucking want to talk to any of these people. So I left the group chat.
That's the way to go. When in doubt, bail. I get
bail, block, fucking everything. Goodbye. I like the kid, too. He's just not Kyle, the other guy.
Right. Well, if we can find out, if Kyle texts me what do you think this week, over, under, and I think, I don't know what the spread is, though. Of course, then I saw him aggravated, and then I'll do a combination. So I was aggravated at the Rutgers game only because it was winnable. I thought the game was right there. And then, of course, the Giant game. Actually, I actually tore my calf muscle watching the Giant game because I figured I just wanted to be a good fan. Everybody else was getting hurt, dropping my flies. So I figured, you know what? I just took an axe and chopped off my calf muscle so I can be injured as well. Poor Davy Jones, Danny Jones, Danny Dimes, oh my God. Sucks. He wasn't having a good game anyway. He nowhere to be found. The Giants look poorly coached. They look a mess. This guy Dable, I'm sorry, man. There's been
Coach of the Year. Get it right, Jimmy.
Unbelievable. Well, listen, NFL, those who win Coach of the Year usually get fired the next year. There's been like a habit of that.
I think a feel-good story. Like, what a great, valiant effort that was.
Everybody's like, no, he looks like the kind of guy you want to have a beer with. I'm like, no, now he looks like a guy who is drinking next to you, managing the game. And what's his name? Wink Martindale, who looks like he's 90. I don't know why no one's giving me a head coach job. I can tell you right now why you can't. You're not going to have a job.
The Raiders putting up 30 on you. That's why you're not.
Raiders stink.
The Raiders.
Oh, they are awful.
Super Bowl champion Antonio Pierce, new interim head coach for the Raiders, changing that culture around real quick.
Okay, when he realizes,
did you hear about the exchange that happened between Antonio Pierce and Josh McDaniels?
No.
So I guess there was like an open forum that was like kind of like Players needed to air their grievances. Let's figure this out. Like, what's the biggest problem here? And the common denominator was the fact that nobody really liked McDaniels, right? It was just not a good fit, right? So apparently Antonio Pierce compared the Raiders season this year to all they need is like one statement win, like the 2007 Giants, and then go on a run and then get to the Super Bowl, right? They were trying to, and then we dethrone the 18-0 Patriots, blah, blah, blah. And apparently McDaniels said, don't you ever talk shit about the Patriots again. Like backing up his dad, Bill Belichick.
Oh, no way.
So like, there was a big hostile situation and they're like, you're fired. So best of luck. And now he's going to wind up back in New England 110%.
And they'll stake. He'll be the new coach there. The Giant game, they're just up. But I will say the Giant game was just awful. Injuries all over the place. They just don't have it. I hope they lose. They're going to win. They'll win one more. It's the NFL, but I don't think they're going to win more than 4. No way.
I saw a mock draft. Ready for this? I saw a mock draft yesterday.
They're 4th now, right?
Well, not even that. Is that here comes Kyle. I texted Kyle, by the way. I said, you got to jump on with this over under. You can jump on that in a second. But I did say to, what the hell was I saying? Shit. I just lost my train of thought. So anyway,
you were talking about,
damn, what the
hell?
We're
talking about the Raiders stinking, the Giants, the Jets stink.
I don't know. Nothing beats when you called me on my way home the other day. Like, hey, Dave, damn, what the hell am I going to say? It's like, you called me, Jimmy. What the fuck? You're like,
I know. I called up Dave, and all of a sudden I went blank. I'm like, why am I calling Dave? I couldn't think of it at all. It's like, hey, Dave, how you doing? How's your day?
So, good. All right. So Kyle's chiming in, and I'll just read it. Sometimes when odds makers open up a low total like that, they're doing it for clicks and shock value. Last week, and they opened up Northwestern Iowa at 29.5, but moved it over 30 pretty early in the week. It'll probably get bet up at some point. So a lot of people probably come in and slap the over or under, rather, thinking that Iowa can't score, neither can Rutgers. So I'm assuming then that's going to be a thing.
You know what I mean? When the over and under moves, can't you make like that double bet where you win both?
Like parlay it?
Like if it goes up to, I thought there was a way when you have 2 different over and unders, you could hedge your bet by betting.
I'm sure there's a way.
There's a way, but when it moves that much. But listen, bottom line is, if you Google 28.5, it just says shitty offenses. That's what it says. Well, that's it. And another thing, I told you last week, nobody wanted to listen to me. I said to myself, the Giants pretty much beat the Jets last week, right? And they blew it at the end with some stupid, whatever. And I said to myself, you can't beat the Giants, you're even worse. And I knew the Jets were going to shit the bed this week, and they did. And I believe this, and I'm a Rutgers fan. I'm about to make a bold statement. Here it comes. We have played Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan over the years. Point spreads have been 35. I cannot think of a more unwinnable game than Giants at Cowboys. Cowboys coming over a decent little game with the Eagles.
You know what the spread was when that opened up?
What was it?
15.5.
Oh, it's got to go up. It's got to go up. I bet it's 18 now.
Me personally, I'm a psychopath, and I'm like, I hate that.
I know you do,
that.
But you know what, dude?
The Giants a million times.
No,
with a spread like that. 15 in an NFL game?
Never happened.
I know Danny DeVito's the quarterback or whatever, but other than that, like, is it going to be him? Is it going to be? I think they brought in Matt Barkley once upon a time. That's what I was saying. Here it is. It popped up. Okay. Saw a mock draft yesterday, and the Giants, wherever they're sitting, doesn't matter, but they're saying in this mock draft that they trade their first round pick and something else to trade up to the number 1 overall pick and get Caleb Williams, which would be a pain in the balls if this kid pans out to be whatever he's going to be. But right now, every time I see him play a good team, kind of folds. So we'll see.
All right. Well, one last thing before we bring in our guest. The Cowboy game yesterday, I watched a lot of that.
Got fucking hosed.
First of all,
a lot.
Well, I don't want to. I tell you,
a lot.
Listen, the Cowboys are good. Eagles are very good. They are. The Cowboys just can't. They don't close, man. Like what happened at the end of the game? The Cowboys they got down. I don't want to blame Dak at the end. He get him down there, but like they looked like a high school. They were like an NFL team. They got to the 11, and the next thing you know,
the best thing I can compare it to is being gifted something and then regifting it.
Correct.
You know, so it's just like we got a bunch. Listen, all the calls under the sun were going towards Philadelphia all game, right? And it was very apparent. And there was a couple of them. I was like, I can't believe what I'm watching, right? But like at the end of the day, it is what it is. I hate to blame the refs, I really do. But at the end of the game, the refs almost tried to even it out a little bit, and they gifted Dallas like the length of the field in penalties. There was an interference call, and then there was a roughing the passer call, and I was like, holy shit! But there was a time that I was like, you know what? We're going to win this fucking game. Like, it's going to happen. We're going to win this game.
It looked that way to me. And then all of a sudden they became, and I don't know, I tell you, I know Gucci hates McCarthy, and the Cowboys, like, they became unglued. In 9 seconds, the game was over.
The offensive line broke down. They gave up 2 sacks. And then by that time, then you're thinking to yourself, all right, here comes the Hail Mary. And the Hail Mary is 4 yards short of the end zone. And I was like, so that wasn't a Hail Mary.
It wasn't a Hail Mary, and he probably wasn't going to get in. There was 9 guys there.
7 green jerseys around him. I was like, what the fuck?
The Cowboys, you know what? Maybe this is the year, though, in the playoffs, the word choke is the wrong word, but I'll use it for this kind of a thing. Maybe this year they get in the playoffs and they close and they don't choke at the
Listen, I said it, and it's not a bold statement. I think the Cowboys are a better team after that game. Like that showed you that they can run with the Eagles in Philadelphia. Now we get them again in 5 weeks in Dallas, and who knows where the situation is going to be. Philadelphia's schedule is going to get very tough in the next couple of weeks. Dallas's gets a little softer. So it's like, we'll see where they stand in a couple of weeks. But man, oh man, that game, it definitely took a couple of years off my life. Whatever.
I'm sure it did.
As it always does.
Yeah, the Cowboys, I don't know. I mean, you know, they're also
an enigma, man. You can never figure them out.
They're an enigma. As a Giant fan, the Cowboys lose. It's always fun to me, but I hate the Eagles. I was rooting for like injuries in that game, so
you're a piece of shit.
The joke used to be I'm rooting for terrorism, but you can't say that anymore.
Wow. Okay.
That's even worse. Anyway, well, I have a special guest. I'm going to bring him on now.
All right, here we go.
I don't know why he's on the show.
I don't know.
The complete waste of my time. Let me see if I can get him in. Ladies and gentlemen, coming in nice and blurry, Mark Riccadonna, my comedian friend. How are you, Mark?
I'm good, man. I got to tell you, I love listening to you guys. I love when people are so passionate about something and you two just going at it.
All right,
just,
well,
like
listen,
verbally going at it. And it's so much fun to listen because I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't know the sports? You don't know the sports,
look,
Mark?
I was all Northern Ohio as a football player. I was recruited to go to Miami of Ohio. I got hurt and then quit watching.
Really? That bitter, huh?
And then you became a comedian, and this is where the show takes a downturn. No, listen, I love Mark. I'm busting his balls. We had some tech difficulties before.
I think we still do with his fucking blurriness. I don't know what that's about.
You know what? You know what's cool about this show? We always want to visit what the internet looked like in 1997, and now we can tell people. Okay?
And now we know.
Well,
now we know. You know what? You look good, blurry. Listen, Mark. I met Mark through my friend Tom Baldinger, the director, one of the producers of Beer League. We shot a thing called Checked Out, little short series, which I don't think has seen the light of day yet, but they're going to be putting it on soon enough. And I met you. We hit it off. Turns out we know a bunch of the same world.
Friends.
He's much more of Mark's much more of a seasoned headliner. He lives down in South Jersey now, or is it in Pennsylvania or South Jersey?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
He's in Pennsylvania, but down by Philly.
Now that explains the internet.
Yeah, so
it's a fad here.
It's a fad. Yeah, so the interweb.
You heard about this internet thing?
Look, my Amish neighbor let me borrow his telephone line, so we're getting what we can.
What are you out of telephone? You're out of fish string, and coffee cans. Yeah. All right, listen.
Hello.
The bottom line is, not only is he a comedian, but he also, more importantly, because what I do is, listen, everybody knows I do a lot of charity work. So I've decided that I'm doing Beer League, the series, to just give charity to everyone. You know what? Dave Sturchio's on my show. Give him a part in Beer League, the series. I need
prominent role, mind you.
I meet Mark Riccadonna for 60 seconds. He shows up on the first series we did. let's give him a part of this too.
Let's
And a
do it.
major part. That's what I do. Deej, Alphonse, new people that are in the show. We don't want to reveal any plot points, Mark, so be careful if you can.
I will.
Mark is actually in Beer League, the series, the new 3 that are coming out, or maybe 1 pilot. We're not sure what we're going to do yet. And it was very funny what you did. And you're also a comic. So tell me a little about how long have you been doing stand-up? How'd you get started?
So I'm like 20 years in now. I started out, honest to God, I was a football player in Northeast Ohio, and that was my life. That was my whole goal, was to play football in college, have 4 more years playing football. And then I got hurt wrestling like an idiot and tore my rotator cuff and basically went through a depression of like, what the hell am I going to do? And it was my football coach, a high school football coach, was like, if you don't do something, you're going to be stuck in Youngstown, Ohio the rest of your life.
Oh, that's depressing.
Yeah. So
I don't even know where it is.
The day after.
Sorry to all my listeners in Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah.
I probably know them. I don't know if you've been to Youngstown. Not that big.
I have not been to Columbus.
Oh, okay. Then so the day after graduation, I moved to New York and started pursuing theater and stand-up and just
wow. At 18 years old, huh? Where did you live
17.
Where did you live when you first moved?
I lived on 40th and 8th, right across from the bus station. And it was before the cleanup.
And it was shitty back then. Oh yeah, very shitty. I remember that very well. Wow.
There was nothing better than stepping over a junkie to go to school in the morning.
Yes. What school did you end up going to?
I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
Okay. Wow. You're one of those trained ones.
I auditioned for like 20 schools, got 19 rejections, and the best school I auditioned to that I blew off and was like, no way I'm getting in this one, is the one they ended up letting me in.
That's cool. Yeah, well, that's certainly a big time school there. Same thing happens when you try to get on other podcasts. You struck out against them. And the last one, the Jimmy Palumbo Show here at Shay. All right, so you started doing stand-up. Now, I
was a door guy for at Stand Up New York.
Oh, Jimmy's played a door guy a lot of times.
Listen, I only play one on TV. I'm great as doorman.
But I was like the door guy there, and I'd seat people and do whatever.
I totally remember. You know, it's funny. When I first met you, I remember you. You were there you were always in there. You were there when it was kind of douchey though. Like back in the, no one understands. Back in the day. And you're going to agree with me. Not you personally were douchey, but like all these comedy clubs, if you were a comic and you walked in and you just kind of said like, "Hey, I'm in town," or "What's going on?" You got treated like you were like stealing their babies or something. Like, "No, hey, I'm just walking in. Who do I talk to?" And now, of course, I find Stand Up New York is really it's like the nicest comedy club in the world. They give you a drink, you sit down, they try to get you up. It's a really nice thing there. So, you started doing a lot of sets there, I'm sure.
Well, yeah. So it paid no money. Like it paid, it's like $25 a shift, but you got to do the check spot. So.
Listen, back in the day, that was an excellent gig to have.
Gold. Yeah, It was gold, man. And I got good at the check spot, so a lot of the bigger guys like Greg Giraldo and Jim Gaffigan was another one. Like they were like, "Hey, man, you have a car and you can do 15 minutes. I'll bring you on the road." And next thing you know, I was making a couple $100 here and there. And
you opened up for Gaffigan?
Yep. Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
And
Gaffigan's great.
Well, this was before he was huge and famous. Now he probably wouldn't let me open for him.
Well, he
wouldn't let you open his door.
As the door guy, he's still.
Yeah, it's true though. You excelled there. So
I did the Jim Gaffigan show. He's not a bad guy. I'm sure he would remember.
No, he's a great dude, and him and my dad were like became really good friends.
I thought you were going to say they're dating. I'm like, all right, good evening, everybody. I know what your opening bid is.
2023.
So two gay guys are doing comedy. One of them is my dad. The other one says.
But they would like sit at the bar at Stand Up New York and like talk. And then Jim would be like, "Oh shit, I got to go. I got another gig." But they like would just sit and talk about, random stuff. And this is when Jim was doing commercials for Dodge Neon. and Rolling Rock beer. Like he wasn't.
It's good beer.
I love Rolling Rock.
They're really good stuff, man.
Latrobe.
Latrobe.
Latrobe, DHA. All right. So then you started getting in your acting career. Were you doing the headshot thing, getting agents, commercial? You did the whole bit like I did?
Yeah, it was nonstop, like hitting a wall. But I excelled in voiceover, which was awesome because it paid off my school. It allowed me to live in New York and start doing the road because I could afford to be an MC.
Who was your agent back then?
Abrams.
Oh, me too. I think we met through Abrams and don't realize it because
probably
I've been with Abrams for 30 years. Billy Ciro and
Billy was my boy, man.
He's still banging around. We'll talk off the air about what's happening with him now. Yeah. Billy's great. He's still around making it happen.
When I got in with Abrams, the first 6 auditions they sent me on, I booked.
Oh my God.
And I had this false sense of like, this is the rest of my life.
Right.
I'll just be putting on a robe and doing voiceovers from.
So you were 6 for 6. You know what I was in my first 100 auditions?
What's that?
Oh, for 100. And Jimmy Palumbo was. I was 0 for 100 on camera, films, televisions, and voiceovers. Now back then, the auditions were more frequent when you're younger, and it was no computer shit and all that. I was 0 for 100. I started to panic. Artie was maybe, I'm talking about 0 for 100, no callbacks, not a sniff. Artie was maybe 6 for 100, and then he booked a Budweiser spot.
Nice.
And then I went I think I was 0 for 105, and then I went into the agent. I was like Peter Hess at William Morris. I said, dude, I suck. Like I'm a baseball fan. When you're 0 for 100, you don't, unless you play for the Yankees, then you sign a $30 million deal. But when you're 0 for 100, you stink. I'm like Giancarlo now. And he said, Jimmy, please, if you sucked, we would have heard about it. You're doing fine. And after that, I started to book stuff. But wow, 6 for 6. That's awesome. That's awesome.
It was a total false sense of security. Like,
no question.
This is going to be great. The rest of my life, I'll just get checks in the mail. I'll go on the road. It'll be awesome. And then I didn't book shit for like 2 years.
Right. I get it. I've been there. It sucks. I know it.
That's where Jimmy's at now.
The funny thing is the fact that listen, I've been doing this so long, 35 years now, 33 years. I just feel like the guy, like it's down 6-1. I slap that base hit in the 7th inning. I still make the turn around first, but everybody knows I'm not going to second. I just
and you're getting a pinch runner.
That's it. I step on the bag. I raise my hand.
Get off the bag,
Jimmy,
you're done.
And some guy named Gonzalez comes in to run for Jimmy. And then he gets Speedster. First to third.
You guys should do a sketch where it's like Joe Rogan and like Bob Uecker in the same booth.
You know what? That's how we're going to promote our show. The Jimmy Palumbo Show with Dave Sturchio. It's like Rogan and Uecker on the same show. So now I understand you have now, but you make a living doing. You married? You have kids? What's the deal? Dogs, kids?
Yeah, two boys and one dog. He's nuts.
That's cool.
Well, you also do the cruise thing. You were telling me last time you were here.
Yeah, so I don't do the long cruises, but there's river cruises. And they're amazing. They fly in or you drive in or whatever, and you hop on a ship. You do one night, and then you get off. You hop in your you get an Uber and go back to your car.
I was doing the Raritan River cruises until all of a sudden we hit.
Is it a fishing boat?
That's it. All of a sudden we hit like rocks right around.
You are officially in the Johnny Drama line of work now. Now you're just like. Between your VFW spot a couple weeks ago and now you go, hey, I'm on the lake now. Actually, I'm on a pontoon. They just kind of go in a circle. I'm just, hey, everybody. Holy shit! I mean,
the captain's like, hey, Jimmy, you got to finish your set. The river's getting kind of skinny right now. Right in the middle of my Depends joke. Boom. Sorry, everyone. We've hit a rock. Please just walk to the side and get your car.
If you shit yourself, Jimmy has a total logical explanation for
Please don't worry about drowning. The water is only 6 inches high in this area.
Just step off the boat and walk the shore.
That's funny. So you're doing riverboat cruises. Wow, you rock. Now I understand
That's awesome.
you've got this huge dry bar thing. Now tell us, where do we got to go? Tell us all. I know that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, dry bar comedy is like they started out. I feel like it's a place called Angel Studios out in Utah, and they started out where they just had an app, and it was like you could get 10 comics, half hours for whatever, and now they're like literally billions of views. Like
Right.
the people just go there because it's one of the only places where you can find actual just stand up. You know,
So back
Comedy Central doesn't pay comedy anymore.
So when it started, they allowed you to go up and film your half-hour set, or what do you mean by that?
So they have a theater, and
Right.
they each season bring in like 10 comics, and they film their half-hour sets, and then people can subscribe to this app, and you have access to all of it. So there's hundreds of comics on there.
And it's dry bar, so that means clean.
Yeah, and I mean,
how does dry bar mean clean?
Dry meaning it doesn't have there's no beer, there's no alcohol. You know what I mean? Like dry. So it's like there's no cursing, no craziness in that.
What, so people who don't drink can't curse? No. So when someone says, "Hey, this fucking coffee tastes like fucking shit," he's gonna get banned from the show. Look at Adam Seitz getting involved here.
I haven't seen him in forever. We shot a pilot together.
Oh my God, I know Adam very well. Haven't seen you in a long time because we don't see anybody.
That was a good one. There we go.
That's very cool.
Handsome faces. Big hugs.
Faces. Look at
Everybody's getting hugs. I don't get a hug, Adam. What the fuck?
You know what? It's the name of the show is Jimmy in Between Two Beards.
Oh no! Listen, when I met Mark, he like freshly shaved. I was like, "What is this?" And look, I did my research, my due diligence, making sure there was no murderer coming into my studio. So I was like, I got to look this guy up. Everything he's ever shot, he had a beard, and then he walks in, and I was like, who the hell is this guy?
He must be up for a national commercial here, Chad. All right, so now, when did you shoot? Go ahead.
This is how ridiculous it was. Why I had to shave. I was playing Wayne Newton in a roast.
Oh my God!
So my God! It's Wayne Newton.
Oh my God!
Need a bodyguard? I'd die for you.
Dude, Palumbo, you'd be so good at this. You just pick a
playing Wayne Newton.
Well, you could do Wayne, I'm sure, but you can pick any character you want. And then you're part of a roast, and you have to roast the other characters. So
okay.
Like Popeye, Katharine Hepburn, Wayne Newton, and Bono are on the day.
Oh my God,
that's great.
I would do it as Bob Shepard. Ladies and gentlemen, check out Bono.
So the last time
Wayne Newton.
Hey everybody,
number 2.
I can't. All I do is eat fig Newtons. I don't even know what you're talking about. So, how did this dry bar thing go? I mean, what you flew out there, you shot it, and then when did you shoot it?
So I was super nervous. This was probably almost a year ago. I went out and I was super nervous because it's like, you know, I can work clean and do corporate gigs. So I was like, okay, I just don't have to swear. Then all these people started telling me these stupid stories of like, yeah, you got off stage, and then they come over and they're like, you can't say goddamn. You have to change.
It's from Utah, so it's a bunch of Mormons out there.
It's so like they kept saying like, can you not say give them the business? Can you say? And I'm like, oh man, my whole act, it's like all about rhythm. If they give me notes, I'm going to be so screwed up.
Yeah, sure, I agree with that.
I was so nervous, and I went in and I shot the first set. You do 2 sets. I shot the first one. I walked off stage, and the director, she's just awesome. She's actually from right around in the Philly area. And she comes over and gives me a big hug and goes, good news, your special's done. So next show, just have fun.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, the pressure's off.
Oh, that's cool.
So the second show, I let it rip, and I did material that, like, I was like, they're not going to let me do this material. And I just did it because it was like, nothing to lose. And then after she came back over and goes, great. Now I have to decide if I want this bit or this bit or this bit or this bit.
Now you made it
So
work.
like-
Good problem to have.
Hey, choices in the editing room. That's how you win games.
So I really was excited. And then I didn't know anything about it, like what was going to happen, when it's going to come out, anything. And I got a call like 3 weeks ago, and they're like, "Hey, it's coming out." And I was like, "I have no time to promote this." Like,
So
or do
when
anything.
is it out now? It's
out now. It came out 2 days ago.
So you got to go to drybar.com, I assume.
Drybarcomedy.com. Use promo code Mark Riccadonna.
Okay, so
you get a little
drybarcomedy.com. Now you remember, I got Mark. You're new to this show. I have to explain to you whenever me and Dave do anything with technology to my audience, we have to say, okay, log into your computer. Go to www.drybarcomedy, spell that out, .com. Then you put it, what's the promo code is Mark Riccadonna, MarkRacca, Donna, like Donna, Donna, Mark Riccadonna. Nice Irish name. And that way you get credit for people at least tuning in, right? When you do that?
Yeah, and
Okay.
you get a discount. So it's
Okay.
Both sides win. Well, what I love is I guess I'm one of your audience, because I don't know how to do anything online either.
Well, it took you 7 hours to log in here.
You're just looking at a black screen for like 20 minutes. You're like,
Well,
yeah, I don't
that's-
know, the camera does not work. And then, you know what? Black screen would have maybe done a little better than what I'm watching now.
It's weird. I see you guys and mine crystal clear. I don't know why.
Yeah,
That's why
it's a listen.
technology,
Jimmy's live audience is like very subpar. It's all about the audio. So when this audio drops,
and Dave Sturchio with a cheap shot, and the flags, flags are coming in, a late hit there.
Analytics, my friend. I just know that
Personal
the audio
foul.
does.
Dave Sturchio at the end of the down.
The audio does better than the video. That's
and
what I'll say.
Like
How about that?
Palumbo's at the 11 with 10 seconds to go.
You're gonna get sacked twice, just so you know.
Well, that's really cool, man. And listen, I think it's great. We met about a year? No, not even a year ago. January. We met. We knew we have common agents, common friends. Adam Seitz, and then we did the checked out thing. And then,
funny stuff, by the way. I got to screen them all.
I look for. You know what? I gotta be honest. I've seen clips of Dry Bar on the internet. I've never really. I gotta sign in myself and check it. Now I know why my
checked out, but that's fine.
I know now why I didn't get asked to do Dry Bar, because if you can't say darn,
yeah, you'd be kicked right the fuck out of
Jimmy
it.
Palumbo's Facebook bit will not make the Dry Bar Comedy Show. We'll be right back. That's really cool, though. I appreciate you coming on. And you're part of, listen, you're part of Beer League, the series. And I'll give you one tidbit. Dave is part of the enemy. And Mark, really nobody knows what Mark's doing in this show, which that's a little, I gave everybody a little tease right there, a little tease. I actually really do. I think this, I wish I could give it away now, and I won't. But the bit that the bit that you do on the show, I really think is funny as hell. And we started out, it was a small thing, and then we expanded it, and I still love it. And there's so much more room to go.
It's very good.
I think the average person over 40 who has dealt with people over the years, and it's just one of those things. Like anyway,
you're gonna connect to it.
I wish, yeah, for sure. And it happens in comedy, in showbiz, even like, Dave's podcast world and wrestling. You think you know somebody. Anyway, I think it's hysterical. I really hope that does good things for you, and hopefully we'll get the 35 clicks that we need to get. And by the way, listen, I want to. All you Dry Bar comedy fans, please go to Beer League, the series on YouTube.
There you go.
Because we need to get to 1,000, and I think we're at 715, so we're 285 ding dongs.
Listen, we were like 400 away about 2 weeks ago, so we've picked up steam a little bit. We've
added 45. That's it. 45.
And I may or may not have created 45 Gmail accounts, but that doesn't matter. I digress with all that. Don't worry about it.
It's not the point.
It's not the point. Right.
They subscribe.
Oh, yes. But listen, drybarcomedy.com, and type in Mark Riccadonna, M-A-R-K, Ricca, R-I-C-C-A, Donna, like, ooh, Donna the song, Riccadonna Day here at Shea. All right, Mark. Well, listen, you might as well stay on. you want to just stay on for the rest of the show. I have some sponsors. We have to get to our NFL stinks list.
Jimmy, before you do that, and before it's fresh in my mind. So I was watching the Rutgers game, obviously, with my dad. It was Miles's birthday party. So we're all watching it. We're all gathering and all that stuff. And I was talking to him. And I said, yeah. He goes, they're bowl eligible, right? And I said, yeah, and I was like, and Jimmy's well prepared to tailgate in the parking structure at Yankee Stadium for the Pinstripe Bowl. And he goes, well, it's better than, and he says, you'll know what this is. It was played on December 27th every year. It was called the Astro Blue Bonnet Bowl.
I totally remember that.
He's like, Jimmy's going to know what that is. And I was like,
all right. The Blue Bonnet Bowl. You know what's funny? You got to tell your dad, there's a website somebody said, all the bowls are still the same bowls. They just changed the names. And like
so there still is the Astro Bonnet Bowl.
But it's not. They have like the heritage things.
Now it's like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, it's like the Chick-fil-A bowl. And it's so funny. I love that. Oh yeah. I totally remember that. The Blue Bonnet Bowl.
He's like, it wasn't good enough to be with the rest of the bowls.
Yeah,
it was like such a sidebar.
Listen, for years, Rutgers made bowls. Well, the game was well before Christmas. I used to make the joke when you're at a Rutgers bowl game, you have plenty of time to shop before Christmas holiday. But anyway,
welcome back to the Outback Steakhouse Bowl
here at Shea. Well, listen, we have a sponsor here because I actually have sponsors, and it's cornholelevel.com. Now, Mark, I'll do this for you. Dave's cornhole is not balanced at all, but your cornhole is not balanced either. And this is what you do here, Mark. You hook this little gadget onto the cornhole board, and it measures to fro up. It's the bubble. So when it's just right, up and down, left to right, you can order it.
Jimmy takes his cornhole very seriously, as you can tell.
Listen. I don't want to say I enjoy my cornhole, but I'm just saying, it's the greatest game. Go to cornholelevel.com. They're $19.95. If you type in the promo code JP Show, you get 20% off the entire order. These are stocking stuffers. Throw them in. It's sponsored by, of course, my good friend Mike Caprio, who is my second baseman for Corona. And go to cornholelevel.com. These things are awesome. They're a lot of fun.
Do you think he finds it any offensive that you always say second baseman? Can't you just say he played second base for my softball team?
No, because
I feel like it's a dig.
No, I tell you, it's not a dig on him. We've discussed this. Maybe you weren't on the show back then.
Maybe it was
because Mitch Fishman played with us for 30 years. It would be like saying Wayne Nordhagen over Derek Jeter. You just can't.
Well, anybody that played with your father and his brother doesn't really count as that. You know what I mean? Like second generation second baseman. It's like
no, but one guy played 30 years. Caprio played 4 years. He gets a full. I mean, what are you talking about?
He's a second baseman.
Listen,
I'm just trying to defend the guy until I get my Cowboys cornhole level.
Okay,
all right. So whatever.
Well, first of all, you got to be.
First of all, Jimmy.
The worst part. Listen, what I do, Mark. So when I have sponsors, I bash them. That's how I keep them.
That's great advertising.
Great advertising. Cornholelevel.com, because Caprio used to wear this bright, ugly Met hat in a sea of Yankee hats. He wore this Met hat, and he played second base. And of course, I was in right field by then because I'm fat and slow. And we always used to have laughs. And he would slam his Met hat down. When he said every time something happened, he'd throw his hat down and say, "I quit," and fake like he's walking off, which still makes me laugh. But yes, Caprio owns cornholelevel.com. Check these things out. It's very cool. It's a different kind of gift. They have I have one from Rutgers. They're one by one. They're getting trademarked. I think the Cowboy one he's trying to get, blah, 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 which is cool. And
like Tom Baldinger himself actually said something in the chat there.
Yeah, he said subscribe to Beer League the series.
My Tuesday got altered. I was all prepared for Mark and Tom to be here, and he texted me at like 11 o'clock last night. He's like, "Hey, by the way, we're gonna push a couple things." I'm like, first of all, I am way too high for this conversation. I was like, yeah, no, it's fine. It's great. My legs are heavy. Can't feel anything, but I'm good.
Whenever I deal with anybody who deals with Dave Sturchio, I always say, no, just call or text during the Cowboy game. He's always got his phone on.
Yeah, definitely. People still don't understand. And you know what? Shout out to anybody. I'm just gonna call him a female. I don't give a fuck. You're a female. If you're making plans on Sundays in the fall, you should just, you should have to pay alimony anyway, even if you stay married. Like, you're just a piece of shit If you, but people are like, I had a friend of mine the other day. She's
Wait,
like,
did you just call Tom Boldinger, the director producer, a piece of shit?
No.
We're scheduled to shoot.
What angles are you getting shot at?
We're scheduled to shoot on a Sunday in 2 weeks.
What? Really?
And Boldinger wants to talk it over.
What is wrong with you people? Well, you know what? No, that doesn't count for
because
Giants
you're
fans because your
obsessed-
season's over.
But you're upset. I know, but your season is always over anyway. You don't win.
I'm just saying. This is more specifically driven towards the wives. Like, don't do it. Don't get married on a Sunday. Don't I saw somebody like some Eagles fan giving me shit. She's like, go Eagles. I was like, you were at a fucking wedding. I saw your story on Instagram. Don't tell me we watched the game at the bar. No, you didn't. Stop. You're lying.
Listen,
I was like, whoever got married on a Sunday should just go F stuff. It's just like, you're terrible.
I don't agree with you in terms of because people have lives out there, and since you're 40 and still into the Cowboys a little too much.
38.
You'll see when your kids get older. You'll be at a doubleheader at Shea. I can't wait. Miles will be like,
none of my kids are going to do anything on Sundays. They're going to watch the games with me.
No, they're not. Miles comes in.
I watch the game with my dad. My dad's never actually done anything else besides sit on the couch and watch football on a Sunday.
Time out.
What?
Your dad, different generation, my man.
What are you talking about? He's raising me the same way. He raised me the same way.
When your kids have a Sunday event, if Miles is playing in a doubleheader on Sunday, you will be at the doubleheader.
The thing about little leagues is that, and I remember this specifically, is that they're very early in the morning, so they're over.
Oh yeah, that's what you think. Okay. Oh, guys, by the way, it's communion morning, so the games will be at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 5.
This is why I'm not raising them to be any kind of religion either, because we don't have to go to church, like none of that shit. We're good. Church is on the couch watching football.
I'm going to spend eternity in hell so I can watch the Cowboy game.
Listen to me. If you think time out,
you're not wrong, Mark.
Time out. First of all, I can't tell you how wrong you are, Dave. Here's why. If you think you have a daughter and a son, and your son looks like he's a linebacker, and your daughter is already dancing now, if you think your Sundays are going to be clear for the rest of your life, you are out of your fucking mind. You have no idea what's coming. You're gonna be like, well, what event is this? And you're gonna get it like early in August. Oh yeah, I'll be able to go. Next thing you know, like, what? I have to
I can't wait.
I have to take turkeys and defeather them and put them in a pan so some guy can cook them. Yes, you will see.
No. Listen. You don't. Right. I'm telling you right now. I'll put money on it. That nothing will come between me and the Dallas Cowboys. Okay. Nothing. Okay. Unless it's a funeral, and you know what? You shouldn't be getting buried on a Sunday either.
Then nothing will ever come between you and getting voted shitty dad when you're watching a Cowboy Cleveland game on a Sunday while your son is hitting ropes in the fall league.
First of all,
Dave, imagine if your son's good at a sport.
He will be.
You'll be like, nah, I haven't watched a Cowboy game in 4 years. Yeah. My son's getting.
You're crazy.
You're forgetting. I agree with Jimmy.
I'm right, man. You sound like a dumb fucking parent right now.
No. Listen, just because your daughter is like an all-star dancer.
No, she's not an all-star dancer, which makes it even funnier. You got to call. I want your dad. Your dad is coming on the show next week, and he's going to go, yeah, I might have missed it. I might have missed a thing or two.
First of all, I'll tell you exactly when this whole thing started, all right? This whole thing started. It's in my blood. It's in my DNA. Why? Because on the night that my mother, her water, by the way, happy birthday, Mom, a couple days ago, her water broke on a Monday night football game between the Cowboys and the Redskins, and my dad told her to wait till halftime before we can leave. So don't tell me how deep-rooted this shit is, because it is. And Joe Theismann, you suck. You threw 6 picks the night I was born. You suck.
Wait a minute. Didn't they get divorced?
Yeah, so what?
That'll do it here.
Semantics.
Well,
listen,
that's our
best decision of his life. Are you kidding?
I just abused your whole argument.
No.
You just said, my dad, not before the game, and they're no longer married. Like, you know what she said?
It was the best decision he's ever made.
She was seen born, she realized you had a Dallas star on your ass. She says, okay, honey, isn't it cute? Your son, I'm out of here soon enough. I mean, come on. You can't. Listen, Wait, and you have 2 kids.
I'm
Oh
well
my
aware.
God.
Thanks.
The events are going to be, there's going to be pumpkin patch days, and you're going to try
And
to
guess
get out
what?
of
The
it.
pumpkin patch days get scheduled. Ready for this? They get scheduled on Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock, so we're done by noon.
You know what's
We've
weird?
done it already. We've
Listen.
done it. I have a big family. My brother's got kids. My stepsister's got kids. So it's like we all coordinate this
Okay.
shit on a Saturday.
Yeah,
on a
that's
Saturday.
family. That's family stuff.
Okay. What are we? We're
Oh,
talking about
no,
family.
What about leagues, the schools, the dances? You think you know what the guy's going to do? Yeah, I'm thinking about scheduling the game 1 o'clock. Let me check with the Sturchios. Yeah, Dave, just want to make sure you guys are clear.
Bro, ready for this? And you'll have to find a co-host next in December, because I do have a trip scheduled for Disney World, right? Disney World coming up again with the kids. Okay. The Cowboys play on Thanksgiving, and then they play the following Thursday. Again, so they have 2 back-to-back Thursday night games. We are leaving the Friday after Dallas and coming home the Saturday before the next Sunday so I can get home for the Eagles game. Do not tell me that I don't dictate what I can do and what I can't do.
Okay.
I am making the rules here. People know that in the fall, I am unreachable on Sundays.
Well,
do not bother me. Don't bother me. Even my kids,
Okay.
they love it. They sit down, they have a good time. They're playing with their fucking toys. They're fine. They're fine. Don't tell me how to parent, Jimmy. All right.
No, listen, I'm not teaching anybody about it, but I'm telling you right now, you are going to lose so many games. Your kid's going to be like, Dad, they're playing the Lions. All right. Like, you know.
And listen,
you'll see.
There's a phone.
And wait a minute.
I can watch the game on the phone.
Okay.
Like, nothing will come.
Now all of a sudden, we're not in the couch anymore. Now we're
I'm just saying, if push came to actual shove, and I had to make
when shove comes to push,
listen. I took the kids trick-or-treating last week, and I was watching the Jets and the Giants on overtime on my phone.
Okay, that's the Jets-Giants.
But guess what? The trick-or-treating didn't start until the Cowboys were done winning.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You can control that. But when your daughter has a dance recital,
she will go to only Saturday dance schools.
Yeah, okay. I can't. I will. This show went long.
All the parents are watching this right now. Anybody who's a parent, they're like, this guy sucks. Holy shit.
Like, everybody agrees with me.
You should see my role in Beer League, the series. You just wait, folks. It doesn't
He's
get
in
any
character.
Better. I'm in character right now.
All right, well, let's get to my.
This segment has been destructed.
So this is. So that's another tidbit. All right, well, cornholelevel.com sponsors the NFL Dave Sturchio's a shitty dad stinks list here.
Son of a bitch.
And here we
go.
Promo
code Who's Your Daddy?
Oh my God. Here we go.
Promo code Deadbeat Dad.
Miami Dolphins, good. Buffalo Bills, average. Jets, Patriots, stink. Baltimore Ravens, very good. Pittsburgh Steelers, I got to put it good. They just never lose. Cleveland Browns, average. Steelers didn't lose last week.
They were off.
Well, they're still 5-3. No, they played last Thursday.
They played Thursday. That poverty-ass game.
Yeah, all right. So, again, they're good. The list stands for itself. Cleveland Browns are average. The Bengals are good and well on their way. Jacksonville Jaguars, I only have them as good.
They didn't play. They didn't.
I have them at good, but they're 6-2, and they could go somewhere. Houston Texans jumping up to average. Colts and Titans stink. Chiefs, very good. Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, all stink, and they've stunk all year. All right, NFC East. I have Philadelphia
Eagles. Prints out
Eagles.
the standings every week, and he's like, let's see what happens here. There's no idea what happened last week.
Yes, I do. I go the Philadelphia. No, I compare to last week and the scores, and I read the paper.
I read the paper. Mark, let me ask you something. You get a paper delivered to your house?
No, because they do it on the phone now.
Thank you very much. Jimmy's the last of the Mohegans. And I think my father, too. My father still gets the paper. He takes it every day to work. And
listen, Jimmy learned how to fold
there's my man. Look at 46 right there. 45, whatever the fuck his name is.
You want to read about the shitty Knicks? You're right here.
They're on the back page?
Yeah, so Knicks stink. All right.
Once you learn how to fold the paper, you don't want to give it up.
No,
I know how to fold it.
Something about you got to read the paper, have a coffee. Philadelphia Eagles, very good. Dallas Cowboys at 5-3 are now average.
You're
Commanders,
out of your fucking mind.
They're average. 5-3. 5-3, please. They've won 3 more games than the Giants. Commanders, average. The Giants are just. I may have to create a new letter, D for dreadful. I'm thinking about it for next week. Giants stink. They stink. They're going to win 3 games or less.
Yankees just hired a hitting coach, in case anybody cares.
Yeah, and it's Johnny Trino. Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions are very good. Vikings are average. Packers and Bears stink. Saints are average. Falcons, Buccaneers, and Panthers stink. 49ers average for sure. Seattle Seahawks average. Rams and Cardinals stinks. So that's it. There are, out of 32 teams in the NFL, 15 of them stink. 9 are average. 4 are good, and 4 are very good. We have an increase in very good here, Jay. That's my list. I stand by it. I got to give a shout out on this horrifically long show.
The list stinks.
The list is great. Please, I'm never gonna miss a Cowboy game for my kids. Oh my God!
Don't get it. Don't get it. They get it.
Okay, holding Sturchio. And then, by the way, your
Half
wife.
This is a goal.
And your wife's a Jet fan.
My wife is not a Jet fan. That's
J.
Maybe another wife and another time is a Jet fan. Not this.
Oh my God, the material's endless. Shout out to the Ramsey High School girls soccer team winning the Division 1-3, whatever the hell it is, state championship there.
Just another quick shout out to another Palumbo. Dude, Madison is rocking it right now.
Oh, yeah. Listen,
what the fuck? Like, first of all, you want to talk about you being the liaison. If you're the liaison, then I got to be a proud papa of some variation. Like, for her to do an internship here, and then I see her on the sidelines with an ESPN mic in her hand. And I was like, look at Madison.
Listen,
like, this is crazy.
She's up at Syracuse. It has the top communication program, a grad school in the country.
It's awesome.
I think it's wonderful. She's a doll. She looks great, and she's getting better and better and better. Yeah. It's awesome. She's one of these days we're going to be like
crushing it.
Right. And
she's literally got the prototypical mold of what these sideline reporters are looking like. And if they deliver a good message, they look the way they do, they carry themselves the way they do, like she can go places, shit. Man. She knows her shit. I remember
I sat with her a Giant game. Oh God, it had to be probably about 8 years ago. It was, the weather was bad, and she showed up with her dad. We split the tickets, and it started to rain and get lousy, and I figured, okay, this girl's going to be out of here. And she stood there in the rain. Giants, of course, lost because they stink. And I was like, she's a badass. So a big shout out to Madison Palumbo here.
Doing her thing.
A couple of things. Number one, I got to mention chasingmiracles.com. The shit your body needs here, Shay. You got to go there. The patches, I wore them yesterday. I just put them on this morning. My mom uses them. She might be avoiding surgery over this. Her friends use them. These patches, they help you with stamina, energy, muscle strengthening, pain elimination, weight loss. We haven't gotten there yet with me. Appetite suppressing, better sleep, improved skin. That's Shay. You got to check these things out. They're transdermal. Put them right on your skin. And you got to check these things out at chasingmiracles.com. Did you guys see the Urban Meyer doc about Florida football? Did you see that one yet?
No, it's been on Netflix for a while, though.
Well worth it.
Yeah,
I still got to watch the Yogi one. I still got to watch that.
And we're trying to get Lindsay Barrett to come on the show.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be really cool. That'll be a whole. I'll make sure Mark's not on that show. But it's really cool. I loved it because they let all the inner locker room. I can't believe they did this. Like all the mic'd locker room yelling and screaming, like getting everybody fired up. And some of them, dude, if you're like,
you talk about the Meyer one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is hysterical at some of the stuff that these coaches say to the players.
And then Tebow's over there like, stop it.
It's literally, they even, it's like,
Jesus loves all of you, regardless of what you're saying right now.
It's really cool. And they show Tebow, and they show the big losses they had and the big wins and all that. So
Hernandez is on that team too, right? When he was killing people.
Yeah, they only touched upon that here, Jay. What are you going to say? The guy kills people. The other thing is, I have a huge. I have a callback actually, Mark. Remember the commercials we used to do them back in the day? I feel like I'm at Yankees. Oh, and when I go to a commercial audition, I feel like Frank Messer's like, here's a guy back in 1995 had 7 callbacks. I'm actually on hold. We're waiting to hear for an on-camera commercial, which would shoot in.
I'm telling you, man, you're like drama giving out like your 1990 headshot. Now, like, this is me. You sure? This isn't the same guy.
I got my new headshots. I'm on fire. Okay. But unfortunately, I have to be in Austin, Texas for my nephew's wedding. I'll be leaving on Thursday. It's a Monday. Me and my daughter are going. It's her first time going to Texas. We'll be in Austin.
Best state in the world.
It's please.
It
is. New Jersey's the best state in the world. Calm down.
God.
Better than Texas.
It's election day. Could we get Murphy out or no? Is that not this year?
God. Now, not only is he against going to his kids' events, now he's against the state which he lives in.
The state sucks.
Oh,
The state sucks.
God.
The taxes are shit. Everything's shit. New Jersey's shit.
It's not shit.
Doesn't have one good sports team affiliated to it. Not one. And I'm talking Jets and Giants and Rutgers and all these fucking the Devils. They stink too.
New Jersey. What about a little thing called education for threes? Got it. They weren't tired of anyone. Oh,
education.
Go
education. Go to Texas and get yourself a football scholarship, you bums.
Oh my God. I can't wait to hang out with you. I can't wait to hang out with you and your family 30 years from now. It's going to be like Deliverance with banjos and everything, hanging out outside of Dallas. Anyway,
I'm retiring out there. I'm officially retiring out there. When it's all said and done, I'll be in Texas.
There's no Cowboy fans in Texas. They all live in New Jersey. Why would you leave here?
It is unfortunate. Every time I'm at a Cowboy game out there, I'm the loudest one, and they're like, "Who's this guy?
Who's this guy?
What the fuck is wrong with you?"
They just want to drink beer.
I remember Brett Ernst was like so mad at me. He's like, "Bro, calm," like in his high pitched voice. He's like, "Bro, calm down." It's like, I'm not calming down. You're crazy.
Don't forget Pine Tar Bar and Grill, 121 South Main Street, Forked River, New Jersey. Best sports bar in the world. 609-489-4286. Go check it out.
The big Steeler fan goes there, checks in there every Sunday.
Big Steeler fan, Tommy Plinio here.
No. What the hell's his name? He has a son. He always kind of comments on all my shit. Big son too, like built like a brick shit house. Why can't I remember?
Frank.
No, not Frank. Damn, I don't remember his name now. I'm drawing a blank. This sucks.
Anyway, yeah, I know who he is.
You know, I'm
pretty sure I know who he is. Also, Lisa Ruane Therapy, 201-725-1251. Certified therapist, hypnotherapy, and all those kinds of things. Give her a call if you're feeling like shit. You're in a jam. Give her a call.
Al Cosgrove. Sorry.
Al. That's what I said. When I say Frank, yeah, I meant Al.
Yeah.
Al, Frank, Jimmy, John.
Same shit.
Same mob. Just put Gambino at the end of it. It works.
Did you see that? That's available on Netflix.
Get Gotti.
I
did see that. I was
starting to watch it, fell asleep, but I definitely want to catch up. It's very good.
People say that about my podcast. Oh, I put your podcast on.
You'd be surprised. Somehow I'm still awake.
Sound asleep. Well, listen. I'd like to thank Mark Riccadonna for saving the show from Dave the Shitty Dad.
Jesus Christ.
I can't wait. I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait
till you have to go apple picking.
Here we go.
Shove the apples straight up both their asses. I don't want to hear this crap.
The first, I can't wait to get. I wish your wife were listening to the show. You'd be dead.
She's banned. She's banned from listening to the show. She knows better.
I have so many. First of all,
she did like almost like mini congratulate me on Sunday night when I was home, and I'm watching the Sunday night game. Like it's nothing's nothing. Like I just realized that the Cowboys just lost by a couple yards, and she goes, "You're taking this like better than history."
That's nice.
And I was like, I'm so fucking numb from some of this shit that I just, I love the team and everybody knows that, but it's just like, man,
it's
sometimes
also you're older, you have a wife, you have children. More important things.
I mean, I don't think that matters.
Daddy class trip. Dad, I'm going on a class trip to meet some dads to go on the bus. When is it? Sunday, September 19th, 2038.
Well, that's funny because I'm not available.
No, but Dad, you have to go.
Nah, listen, you can go to your own dance. I'm good. Get the chaperones.
Daughter dancing. I can't wait.
That would be the only.
Oh, wait, now we're up to only. First of all, you start off with wakes and funerals. Now we're down to daddy-daughter dance.
Daddy-daughter dance or some shit on a Sunday, which, by the way, whatever education system schedules that should be
Listen to me. Listen to me very clearly. I mean this.
Mm-hmm.
When that daddy-daughter dance thing comes up, I don't care if you have like 2 broken legs, broken arms. You have to do that. And
yeah, of course.
You got to do it right. You got to get dressed up. You got to get flowers, and you got to go outside and knock on the door and pick your daughter up for a date. Dude, it's dude. I can't wait. I did it twice. I got such a kick out of it. I danced with her. Some dads were like being jerk offs, like, "Oh, doesn't it suck?" I'm like, no, it doesn't suck. And you dance with her. You do those band square dances they teach the kids, but it is. You have to do it. Do not let that slide. I know you'll do that. Here,
this guy called me Dallas. Adam called me Dallas. This is like I hung out for an hour. Great seeing you all. Listen, too, Dallas.
I actually have to go pick up my daughter from school. as we do the hour and 13-minute.
Yeah, wow. I got to edit this thing and then do Jersey Boys right after
I feel like I'm a young Father Paul here, Che. So I will listen, Mark. Everybody, go to Dry Bar Comedy. Mark Riccadonna. Do it, Mark Riccadonna.
Thank you.
Check it out.
Thanks.
Go make it happen. And I'll see you on the set soon enough, my friend.
Yep.
Hopefully, if we can get a big Dallas fan sponsor to write a check, we'll shoot some more of these. And I'll make Dave a star, the liaison.
Already a star.
And then it'll be a trivia contest. Who fed the ball to Sturchio for the Sky Jam? Oh, the little guy named Jimmy Palumbo. I'm giving away. You know what? I'm gonna end up someone's gonna be playing Johnny Trino. I'll probably make Miles play a young Johnny Trino.
There you go.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, blah blah blah. Dave, thanks for all your stupid shit you say. Makes me crazy. This was a fun show.
Good clips here today, boys.
It's a fun show. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys next week.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.